Now then, people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It's Euro final day, so of course, you know, for any Scots, Welsh, American, Spanish, I think that's the lot of my viewership. Aussies, if any of you are watching this, you might want to switch off for a little part of it, because we will be talking England, but more importantly, we'll be talking about Leeds United and their transfer business so far. And if indeed we are happy, we'll probably do a few of these throughout the window. Look, folks, at the end of the day, it was the 19th of July 2023 when we signed our first player last season, so we're ahead of the game. We have brought three in Cairns, Rothwell and Rodon back as well, but of course we've lost a few, and some of us might be a little bit disappointed that we've lost a la Gray and Kamara, so we'll chat about that as well. That's what we're going to be covering on today's video. I am going to put a poll in the chat as well, just to find out if yous are happy so far, yes or no. I'll do that in a second, but before we do, let's welcome today's panellist, today's guest. It is, of course, Mr. Jack City Bitch. Jack City Bitch. How you doing, mate? All good?
All right, man. Yeah, cheers for having us on again. It's much appreciated.
Always, mate. You're a top guy. Top guy. And some music dropping next week, I believe, as well, my man.
On Friday, yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'm going to be bringing out loads, hopefully, so.
Yeah. I need you to send it, mate, and then I can change the tune on my intro, because it won't get copyright unless you're going to start copyrighting me once you've made it big time. You know what I mean? Nah, imagine that. Yeah. Demonetized. I'll be like the little knobhead man. No, but new music dropping Friday. We'll be discussing it during the week, and hopefully, you know, Leeds family will help Jack, climb up them charts and stuff like that. Yeah, is the Top of the Pops? Is that still a thing, mate? Are you going to be on there anytime soon? Yeah, Top of the Pops 2. You'll be on that, won't you? Top of the Pops 2. Honestly, Top of the Pops 2. By the way, my mum used to watch it every Sunday, and obviously now I can appreciate it because I'm older. But back when I was younger, I'd be like, "What is this shit you are watching?" Because obviously them tunes were like dated. But now I'd be like, "Yeah, bring it on." But yeah, look out for that, folks. Make sure you follow Jack City Music, Jack City and City of Leeds fans, and everything Jack City related. And we've got Joe coming to us from, we're full of Joes right now. Joe Rothwell, Joe Rodon, Joe Blackburn, Joe Wayman. There's fucking loads, man. It's the new in-name.
There's not enough. What we need to be doing is we need to be doing what the Welsh did last year and sort of take over Leeds, but hopefully no one notices. We'll introduce someone like Josephs, someone like Jose. But eventually it's all...
I'll tell you, Joseph, we've got one there, haven't we?
There we go, there's another one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I quite like it. How you doing, mate? I know you're coming from a... you look like you're in hostage, mate, so just, tell us about your location.
I've got a couple of blokes with AK-47s over there, so it's all fine. No, I'm coming from my nan-in-law's in-decoration bedroom round at their house. So it's not the neatest setup I've had, but you know what? I quite like it. It's got a charm to it. It's like when you're on location or whatever, and you're just like, well, there's a lot you can do with this room. That's what I feel like this background is right now.
You look at all I got from that was a few of my friends who I grew up with saying it's my cousin, brothers, mothers, and all that sort of stuff. Right, when it's my cousin, brother, man, what are you on about? Anyway, right, let's talk about England first of all. I'm absolutely hyped being a Southgate fan. Okay, the football's not great, but as an England fan, he's helped me believe in the Shield, believe in the nation again. I've been watching clips this morning of like some of the shit we've had to go through, the Beckham sending off, the penalty misses from Southgate, Pierce, Beckham, all this sort of stuff, and then just seeing it like go from grey to like colour when Southgate came in, and we've been to finals, semis, won penalty shootouts, and I'm just so grateful for that switch up in English mentality. And as today comes as well, I'm absolutely over the moon. And listen, we could be about to witness history, because, like I say, it's not been since '66. I don't know what the maths are now, but it's, 40, nearly 50 years?
I think.
58 years. Wow, okay. History in the making, Jack. Can we do it, mate? Are you a Southgate fan? If not, are you just getting rid of your agenda for today? Because it's like, we're in the final, man. Come on.
I'm not a Southgate fan per se, I wouldn't say, but I'm not into the... funnily enough, I was initially when he came in. I thought he steadied the ship, didn't he? I thought he handled media really well. Everybody seemed to like the England team, like the players, because there were a bit of a divide, weren't there, I would say, between the players and historically for quite a while. And even when Southgate came in, there were a lot of talk. It's interesting how the squad's developed under him as well, because there were a lot of people when he first took it over saying it's like one of the worst sides we've had. And the side haven't really changed that much. You know, like in terms, I know the younger lads have got a bit older and like Gordon's coming to his own and Bellingham and stuff, but he has sort of, I mean, I do think it's boring, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've come into the tournament, we've played better, haven't we? And ultimately, as much as I would like to sort of think we're going to go for it a little bit, as much as I'd like to think we're going to go for it, it's just about, if you're in final, he's got, semi-final or final under his belt. This is another one. Like, law of averages, you know, not everybody's getting finals, are there? There's only two, I know it sounds daft, but there's only 2 teams that get there. So it's like, if he does keep doing it, it's kind of difficult to argue with how he's going about it. Does it really matter? And as Mayweather would say, like when the history books is written, which is obviously bad English, but it is true. When the history books is written, when it's all said and done, we'll be remembered for that. But nobody cares, do they? Nobody's going to go, well, sit back and watch that 90 minutes against Serbia or whatever. Who cares about that? It's not important, is it? So,
we'll remember is Bellingham's overhead kick, won't we? That's the fact that won the game.
And how brilliant it was, and how we was up against it, and it was the moment that it brought. You know, nobody cares about the football leading up to it. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, but I think Spain genuinely are beatable. They came into the tournament. Nobody really had them as the team. Did they? I know that doesn't mean anything, but you know, it's. They've played really well, no doubt about it, but we're a decent side out of it, you know. I saw Gary Neville and that all talking about who gets inside, like the combined 11, and there are a lot of, you know, there's a lot of English players getting in there. I don't know whether that's maybe a bit of bias in there, but I don't know. I don't think anybody's been that good. I don't know about you.
No, not from. We talk like Spain have won 6 on the spin, haven't they? I think that's the first time no one's not dropped points, which shows how well they've been played. I don't think the tournament's been that great. It started off like a house on fire. We've seen some good games, but then it's just slowly got a little bit monotonous. But I think a lot of that again comes down to tournament football and the way managers set up in tournament football. You've only to look at say Portugal, France, England. They set up not to be beat. The only team that hasn't, of course, is Spain. You know, they've gone out guns blazing. But listen, I am, of course, you're right to be concerned about Spain. I do think experience will count for a lot. You know, this is not new to England anymore, which sounds mad. But as we know, Southgate's got us to finals, semi-finals. We were in the last Euro final. We got beat on penalties against Italy, who have that experience that we now have. The last hurdle we have to take is to win it. This Spain side is a new Spain side that doesn't have that. So have they gone behind yet? Yeah, they did against Germany, but let's see what they're like when they're in the trenches, because I think they'll have a lot of the ball. I think we'll be camped in at times. But what that does enable us to do is have runners on the break, and we have Saka, we have Foden, we have Bellingham, we have Kane. You know, we can't discredit this side, and Southgate's found a way to get us through and hopefully get us over the line, man. Joe, how are you feeling about it? I feel that you might be a little bit like me. You might think it's boring, but you're like, look, he's made me happy, or am I totally wrong?
It's a weird one, because, like, you know me, you know I like the fun, entertaining football where you're weaving together passes and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, that's not what tournament football is. Tournament football is all you've got to do is not lose. And Southgate's gotten really, really good at that. It's a sort of specialty of his where it's just sort of like, okay, we'll just grind it out. Eventually we'll get a result. And yeah, it didn't work in the Euros last time around, but I think France were pretty lucky given some refereeing iffiness and Kane missing a penalty. This time round, the fact that we've gone round to round to round and everyone said, well, yeah, but we've beaten Slovakia, but we'll get hammered by Switzerland. Yeah, we've eked past Switzerland, but we'll get dicked by the Netherlands. That's not happened at any point.
And we've got better, haven't we, Joe? We've actually got better. I know it's not great, but we've got better as we've gone on.
Yeah, and we've learned what the problems are. So, for example, the match before the last one, I think it was against Switzerland, everyone was looking at the situation and going, I don't know why Harry Kane's still on the pitch. Because all he does is drop incredibly deep and he picks the ball up where the centre back should be. And then in this last match, we said, okay, let's not do that. Brought on Watkins. Watkins scores the winner. So it's learning these lessons as we go on and learning the changes that we need to make, and eventually we'll get there. And in terms of playing style, it's like you mentioned, Spain aren't used to that sort of grindy in the trenches stuff. I saw a comment that recently that was the way that, and it's going to be rude, and I'm not actually calling Southgate an idiot, but the metaphor works, is the way that a professor loses to an idiot in an argument is the idiot drags him down to his level, and the professor's not used to arguing with idiots. And that's what I think it's going to land at. It's going to land at, it's going to be something completely unfamiliar to Spain, and we might be all right, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, mate. I think as well, like when we talk about, it was terrible in the group stages for England, but ultimately we topped our group. People say we got the easy side of the draw. I just shoot it back to them and say, well, it's not our fault France didn't top the group. It's not our fault that, we did. That's why we're in that side of the draw. It was terrible. Like, I can't lie, even I was like, what are we doing? I can't believe the Slovakia game where Bellingham and Kane score. I genuinely was upset watching it, being a Southgate fan, thinking, why are you letting it end like this? You're really going to let it end in such a poor note that everyone now will just forget what you've done in bringing this nation to a certain level and a certain expectancy, because that's what he's done. He's lifted it again. And thankfully we got through that. And I even think after Holland, the way that we won that, the Watkins change, the penalties, I actually think even the most hardened Southgate doubters now are like, okay, yeah, we sort of get it. We sort of, can appreciate what he's done. But yeah, just thinking of how we've improved, we played well against Swiss, and then in the first half against Holland, that was our best half of football, and every game we've got better, so more of the same. I think Jackie's going to remain unchanged. I personally would have liked to seen Shaw come in for Trippier if he could have given us 90, but you can't, I guess. Is there any complaints? Would you drop Kane for Watkins? You can't drop Kane in a final, can you? He's England's leading goal scorer, man.
Kane's got it, hasn't he, from the BBC or ITV, whoever it was, sort of set up on that first game, and it was like, Kane's the one that's going to get it. And he got it all half-time, all full-time. He just seemed to get, like, nobody else. We were really bad. And then you're blaming Kane. And I ended up becoming this, like, uber Kane fan. It must just be centre forwards that I just can't stop supporting. But because I'm not.
That's like me with Southgate. We do that though, Jack. So we go, hang on a minute, this is unfair. Fuck that. No, Southgate. You know what I mean?
And discussing Kane as though he hadn't proved himself to be an absolute monster for like as long as I can remember him coming on for Tottenham, years ago. When I just thought, well, he's going to stop scoring now. I've done that like forever, and it's got to a point where after about 4 years of him just never stopping scoring, you eventually go, right, he's going to score loads of goals until he retires. That's just what Kane is, isn't it? And it's bonkers, really, just to put it on him. I think he needs, and I don't want to just say what everybody says, but runners in behind and stuff. He does need people sort of getting past him, doesn't he?
And we might get that against Spain because of they're going to have the ball. He might pick it up in the central space.
That's the only thing that slightly worries me.
Yeah,
Spain.
Cucurella might be at fucking corner flag, and then Saka's got space to burn, and Kane just goes boom. There you go. Yeah, that's the key, isn't it, mate? Like your Cancelo. Not Cancelo. What's he called? The Real Madrid right back.
Carvalho.
Carvajal's back, isn't he? So him and Cucurella though are going to be pushing so far forward that there is going to be space for us to run into. And a lot of people have said, why didn't he play Gordon? He might be waiting for that moment because everybody else has had moments like. He was bringing on Tony in a certain game, and I've done shows of people going, why does he keep bringing on Tony? Well, the game was calling for a Watkins. He did it against Denmark, and he brings him on. He's actually made some good tactical decisions at times as Southgate to get us back into games or to get us to win games. So tonight might be the night we see Gordon if there's loads of space in behind. He goes, do you know what? This is it. This is your moment, Anthony, So, yeah, I'm excited. But let's just round off. I want to get some, score predictions from you, how you expect it to go. I can't lie, just because it's England and the nature and the nerves and that. I think it's going to go all the way and we win on penalties. It'd be a fantastic way to win it. It's almost like guaranteeing going up through the playoffs is better than winning the league. I think for me, winning on penalties is better than winning in 90 minutes, 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just the emotion.
No, don't you, Joe? You remember how the playoffs went, though?
Yeah, that's true. That is true, mate. Go on, Jack. Give us your score prediction, mate. How do you think it's going?
I don't think it'll go to pens. I think something will happen, not similar, not last-minute jobby, but I think it might be extra time, and then when it all goes a bit dull, like it always does, because teams definitely... You can't help it, even at our whack level, at 6-a-side. If it's a big game, you do sort of think you sort of set into where you're at, don't you? So... Because I do think Holland were waiting for extra time. I think, and England were to it in essence. You don't want to lose it in that moment, do you? So, and then obviously Ollie Watkins come on full of energy and nick to go. But I don't think it'll be a last minute job. But I think the game will lull potentially in extra time, and then I think I don't know which
tiredness
way.
in it as well. Tiredness can
Yeah.
take a hold, definitely, for sure. You don't know which way it's going to go. Someone winning extra time then?
Yeah, I think it'll be an extra time job, and obviously I'll say England for the sake of it. But 2-1 to
2-1.
England,
To England,
but also maybe Spain.
Yeah. What about you,
England
Joe?
2-1. I think it'll be 1-1. I think they'll score first, and then I think they'll come out.
That. Yeah, I can see that as well. I can see them scoring pretty early, actually, which will help England. You know, we're never good at scoring early, are we? We score early, and then that's it. We retreat. Even back in the days, like it's always been the case. Joe, go on, mate. How do you see it going?
Someone asked me the other day, and I can't be bothered changing it, so I'm going to go with 2-1 to England in 90 minutes. And I'm going to say we might score something scuffed first. Spain will score the second. Everyone shits themselves for the next 45 minutes. And then at some point within the 90, we'll somehow toe poke one in, and it'll be great. And the shouts in the chat, I think I agree with. Bellingham maybe scores the winner, and the entire population of Madrid never forgives him.
Fuck it. And I hope he does this in front of them as well. That would be amazing, wouldn't it, if he did the "Are you not entertained" right in front of the Spanish? So that would be good. 2-2 extra time and pens. I see a 2-1 England win too. Yeah, imagine pens, man. The nerves would be insane, but I'd be very confident going into pens. I can't lie.
Too much of an Italy flashback for me. I remember the Italy match too much.
Honestly, I still can't.
It's the same crop for the most part, though.
Yeah, but when I watch Tony take them pens, man, I get nervous just watching his eyes, man, when he just went bang.
When they're super confident, I always think this is going to go. So, like, you know, you just think, well, he never misses.
They do a Paneka or something like that.
You what?
They do like a Paneka or something like that, and it's
I just think, oh man, like you've every right to be that confident because you're a beast at penalties, but not now. Like, you know, it's just like. But but he's mint at him. I think, to be fair, I would never traditionally say this, but I do back us on penalties. We've got some exceptional penalty takers, don't we?
Yeah. Well, Cole Palmer takes him at Chelsea. Exactly, that tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
We had Cole Palmer takes him at Chelsea, Saka takes him at Arsenal, Tony takes him the best around, and Bellingham's just sick. Trent's an awesome, dead ball specialist. And then if Kane's still on the pitch, Kane as well. Because when he did get that penalty the other night, I did get a little bit nervous because obviously he'd finished that one at France, and I thought, Southgate took him off before. I'm a little bit nervous, but there was no saving that one he took either against the Dutch. So it's all good. Right, let's. For sure. Stephen Piper with the super sticker. Big up to you, Stephen. Thanks for the support, mate. Right, let's talk about Leeds United. I'm not going to fire any questions. I just want to get your initial. I don't think we've spoken since I hadn't spoke to Jack for a bit. I've not spoke to Joe for a couple of days. So just, it's gone a little bit crazy again, like it did around the grey time. And then the last few days, although Kamara's not officially left yet, we can say that that's a done deal. He's not in training. Fabrizio's saying he's got exclusives, even though I know Joe was fuming in the group chat. I'm in saying, hang on a minute, we were talking about this yesterday. What's he on about, exclusive? But yeah, look, Joe, I'll come to you, mate. What's your overriding emotion currently? Now the 14th of July, midway through the month.
I think I'm happy enough. Like, it's the point where you need to recognise it's a very, very long transfer window. And I did a video earlier today that is covering just all the rumours that are happening right now as everything's happening. And in terms of the players leaving, the players that are realistically on the way out are the ones that we probably thought would be on the way out. Like Kamara, that one took us a little bit by surprise. We were like, probably not going to sell Kamara. But then if the season after you sign someone for 5 million, someone comes in with 8.5, you probably take it because you're a championship club and money coming in isn't something that you can take for granted. And let's be honest, we can probably replace that same passing output with someone relatively easily. When it comes to players coming in, the main note that I had in the video that I did, and spoilers for anyone that's not seen it, please do. This isn't going to spoil the entire thing. Is I was sort of building up to who I think the biggest incoming player of the window is going to be, and I basically finished by saying we don't know yet. Because the 49ers moved so quietly that you just have no idea. Like, we signed Alex Cairns with no idea. We signed Joe Rothwell. I didn't have a clue. I know I missed a morning of news, but I didn't have the foggiest. We only knew about Rodon because he was here last season. The way that the 49ers are doing things makes me think that, of the rumoured players coming in, how many of them are actually going to make their way in, and how many people that aren't rumoured are going to take their places, because they just seem like really smart in the way that they operate like that.
Yeah, it is mad. Like you bang on. I think the first noise we heard about Rothwell was at 6 p.m. from Mark McAdam from the South Coast, like reporting side of things, and then at 9 o'clock he was being announced by Leeds United, which shows like, you know, that Rothwell had travelled up probably the night before, had stayed in a hotel, done his stuff on the morning, the videos, the training, the medical, and then the press didn't pick up till 6. And then it's announced at 9, so it shows just how mad, you know, they do move. They really do move in silence. Jack, what's your thoughts just overall?
To wait it out a bit and stay calm. Do you know what I mean? Like Joe's just wonderfully articulated. But you know, they do move silently. So, and I love it how it's like that. To be perfectly honest. The problem is, isn't it, the outgoings are the ones that sort of bleed out and everybody instantly believes these things. Now, I know Kamara does look like he's going to go now, but it's this, like, Summerville's gone quiet and stuff, hasn't it? It's all settled. The Nonto stuff settled down a little bit, and they may still go. I'm not saying that they won't go, but you just need to reflect a little bit and just wait. I know it's hard to wait and not just be in the moment and be like, well, what are we doing? It's like, well, there's a panic in you because you don't know what we're doing, because you don't know what they're doing, quite literally. And that's the whole point of it. But it's a good thing that we don't know what they're doing. And that people just turning up, anybody that is linked, I don't want to ruin my future videos forever, because I love the nonsense talk. It's the best thing ever when you just pick a player and go, yeah, and you do all stats on him, like he's coming in, 20 goals a season, we've got him. You know he's not coming, but, we'll sign some players. Well, we will be good come the start of the season. I truly do believe that. Come kick-off, Farker will have his team. Maybe not, to be fair, maybe not absolutely cemented in. We might still bring someone in. But, we'll be significantly better off than we was this time last year. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember like the time frame, but when it were all a bit... I mean,
we didn't sign our first player, which was Ampadu, until the 19th of July last summer. So,
and we're already more stable.
Yeah,
because we've got them players as well. And I think we forget actually about the players we brought in last year. I know Kamara's moving on, but we've got a decent foundation now to actually move a few players around as well. So, and like Joe said, I really like Kamara, and I would have liked him to stay really, but I'm sure, because they've said that Rothwell's not Kamara's replacement as well, haven't they? They've said that.
Well, this is what Graham Smith said.
Right,
but we don't know if that is the truth, do we? Like, because look, I don't want to throw shade at anyone, and I'm not doing that. But no one has got a clue. Journalists, YouTubers, anybody at the minute, no one's got anything right. Let's be honest. We've all been way off the mark at times, if we're being honest.
Don't let people in on the secret that we've got no idea what we're talking about.
People know that from my channel, to be fair, but maybe a bit different with you two boys. But even if he was the replacement, is that such a big issue if we've swapped him?
Yeah, I hear that, but I want more bodies. Do you know what I mean? The thing that frustrates me.
I just mean it's Kamara's replacement. If we just swap them out and that's just Kamara's replacement, and we start again from, so Rothwell is now Kamara, and we go again from there. I don't know tons about Rothwell, but it seems decent.
No. More attack minded for sure, can actually score a goal, and that's not. Listen. I'm sick of seeing people saying that Kamara's no good because he don't get goals and assists. It's like, you don't watch football if you don't see what he brought to this side.
No,
genuinely, it does me head in that the amount of Leeds fans that are ready to just throw him in the bin. You know what I mean? There's a reason
he
why
was really malleable as well, because he played 100%. It was always him. It was always him in the centre that played with the other centre midfielder. And like, I know I've said it 1,000 times, but Gruev sits a lot deeper. When Ampadu were there, he'll sort of sit with him a bit more.
Yeah.
So he actually could do both, because I saw that thing that you put on Twitter the other day, Joey. Is he a 6 or an 8?
Yeah, of course.
I thought that was quite a good question, really.
Yeah.
I think next time someone says the goals thing, just ask them how many Archie scored last season.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a great point. Danny, you've just joined us, mate. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. I was renegotiating my contract with Red Bull. Sticklers, them lot. I'm good, mate. Thank you for having me.
Good, mate. Ever coming with the zingers, aren't you, mate? Always on the ball. Dad jokes left, right, and centre is our Danny boy.
That's all I've got, mate. I'm not the best looking.
Yeah. Talk to me, mate. Just on it. England going to win the Euros.
Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a delusional Englishman, would I? Of course, it's coming home.
Yeah, I like your new top as well. Is that the new training gear?
Yeah, the new training stuff. I'm not on the staff, unfortunately, but
No.
it's snug. It's really nice. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
really good
It should be
stuff.
for the price. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. It's pricey, man. Fuck that. It's a joke, actually. We were just talking there, mate, about the window. Now, obviously, this is the most. I don't know if emotional is the right word, but this is the more like. We've communicated for a long time now, Danny, but obviously now with you in the content creation sphere, you do the Not Another Leeds pod, you see it a lot more, you're a lot more wise to it, and you're actually like getting annoyed by it, aren't you, of how many people are like, fuck's sake, man, they're not even giving them a chance, why are they saying it's negative already? You're quite like in tune with it, whereas like when you're in that sphere, I think you're used to it, and I'm like, I get it, mate, but for you it's like sort of brand new, and you're like, Joe, it's doing me fucking tits in, man.
Yeah. Especially before we've even kicked the ball in pre-season, straight off the cuff. I know there's people that said that's it. I agree with people. People have stances and opinions. That's just it. That's football, innit? And even if you're just like a normal fan, I'm willing just to see how we are come the end of August. I'm willing to wait. But if it comes to the end and we've just got a bare 11, then fair enough. Let's burn the place down. But it's just, I feel like the people that we've got rid of is Charlie Cresswell caused a little bit of a fuss and then was integrated back into the squad. He's gone for 3.8 million. Glenn Kamara, I don't know if you've already talked about this. Kamara going, he's a big loss in the terms of like I liked how he played. He was one of my favourites last season. But if we don't get a replacement for him, it's we need to really.
Yeah.
But Rothwell coming in, it's like people are writing Rothwell off already, and he scored twice the goals as Kamara did last season.
Yeah.
But it obviously players that rated on that, is a DM and all that. But I just feel like there's still a long way to go in the window. Better players will take longer negotiations, in my opinion. And you've got like the town of Chelsea, who've got literally 40-odd players on the books. Enzo Maresca will want to see all his young'uns and that, you know what I mean? He could field 3 teams if he wanted. But all the business happens at the end of the season, at end of the window for me. But, we just got to be patient, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, we have, mate. You're right. Let's talk about some of the exits then. Let's talk about Kamara. Joe, I'll come to you because I genuinely would like to see him stay. I know I get it from a business standpoint and all that sort of stuff, but I personally think he's going to be hard to replace because it's the Championship and he's a level above the Championship. There's a reason why a league and team are coming in for him. I'm genuine. We've spoke about it, but just how ready a lot of Leeds fans are ready to bin him off. Like, oh, good, now he's gone, bring me someone who will actually shoot and all that shit. But it's a trade-off, right? Yeah, he might not have shot a lot, but people forget we got 13 clean sheets in a row. Do they not think he had a part to play in that, like? Or is it just the defenders? Like, it's crazy, mate. I'm still quite annoyed at that one because I thought with Rothwell, Kamara, Gruev and Ampadu, you have your midfield force sorted. Now let's go get the other pieces of the jigsaw. I now feel we need to now get still another midfielder. I'd be annoyed, genuinely annoyed, if we just went with Gruev, Ampadu and Rothwell, personally. Because we had 3 last season. We had no midfielder subs on the bench in the playoff final. That's not good enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I can completely see that argument from the sporting perspective. I completely agree on the Kamara was really good last season. The amount of people that wrote him off because he didn't shoot very much or didn't score, that's not super relevant because I think we had a conversation on a post-match pod at one point where it was the one where Kamara had the ball in the box and he just played it off to Summerville instead, and everyone was like, why didn't you just hit it? But then you break it down a bit and you're like, well, Summerville's in a better spot and Summerville has a record of scoring lots and lots and lots of goals this season, so it sort of made sense. He seemed like someone who was capable of intelligent decision making under pressure, and that's something that top tier sides are going to want to look at, which is an example of why Ren's gone for him. And we don't know what's happening with the story and everything, whether it's Kamara that's seen there's interest and gone, actually kind of fancy playing in the top tier, that'd be quite nice, or if it's the club going, oh, £8.5 million, we got to go for that. But whilst there is your note on it of like clearly he's a tier above the Championship, I think the approach that I've got towards it is, but do you need to be a tier above the Championship to get promoted? Because if you replace Kamara with a serviceable midfielder, you're probably going to be fine. Like, you don't need to have that extra good midfielder time and time and time again. You just need someone that will do enough of a job in there to hold control, because that's what we did in those matches. That's what Kamara did. He received the ball, looked for a pass that made a bit of sense, found that, and then moved into another position where he can receive it if needed. That's something a lot of midfielders can do, and based on the way that teams defend against us, you don't need someone to do the more complex stuff than that, I feel. So whilst it is a shame, and I've really liked him, he is sort of someone we can replace.
Yeah, no, I guess. What about you, Jack? Where do you land on the Kamara stuff?
I don't want him to go. I don't want anybody to go, to be fair. But I don't get the shooting thing. I just literally don't. It's just like nonsensical to me. Because particularly Leeds fans, like, you know, you go to the ground and if he shot, I mean, the bloke might have a pistol. You have no idea. He might be firing him in left, right, and centre in training and just don't fancy it, which I doubt. But if he just starts blazing him over the back, can you imagine? You know, when we're building a bit of pressure and moving ball, and we try to actually break a team down, and he just starts leathering them from 20, 35 yards, everybody go absolutely wild. And furthermore, if he did do that, if he was capable of if he was the defensive-minded type of midfielder that he is, and then he gets 10 goals a season, he ain't in the Championship, is he? I know, I agree that he can step up, but I sometimes just think, I don't know who they think we're signing. It's like, Kamara's really good. Well, if he was any better, he wouldn't be at Leeds United, would he? You do have to have a position where you just think, well, you take a drawback. Wherever you're playing, when you're not in the top 6 sides in the country, you're going to either lose your best players or not have the best players. It's not possible to have these. They don't stay for long. As I say, if he'd have got 10 goals this season, Kamara would be on. He wouldn't be getting sold for 8 million, would he? He'd be getting sold for dumb money. Gone through roof his value. He's found his level. He's really good. I think if we'd have gone up, he'd have been a good asset in the Premier League for us. But not if we wanted to build. We'd have eventually had to move him on anyway. So ultimately, we're going to get through some players while ever we're building. And Kamara's one of the ones that we've unfortunately going to lose at this moment. But
boys,
I just had a quick thought / question on the shooting thing. Do we think that might be like a bit of a hangover from Klitsch? Because we had Klitsch who would happily shoot from anywhere, and a lot of the time it would go in, and now we've got a fairly standard midfielder that doesn't try that sort of stuff. And do you think that we've sort of become conditioned into it, maybe?
Klick became shit at finishing after that first initial, and the song came out, and then he just stopped scoring.
But he'd still try.
Yeah,
he'd still, and everyone would have the memories of him, like, you know.
And Rothwell will. That's the difference. Rothwell will have a go. I think he will have a go.
Well, he better go in. That's all I say for the poor lad. Better be all the top bins.
He did get Southampton's goal of the season last season. Belter. Yeah. So give me some of that.
Yeah, just 10 of them then.
Yeah. 10 goals. He'll score one, right? And everyone will go, see? Told you! Kamara's shit! Exactly. Boys, I know, listen, I might agree with this thing that I'm about to say, and I might not, but do we think 49ers are trying to do it on the cheap? I'm not going to confirm.
No, because there's no.
I feel like that, but
no, because there's no benefit to them.
So we're seeing a lot of money come in, and the replacements have been rode on, which was wrapped up in the Gray deal. So would they have paid 10 million for him outright anyway? I'm not too sure, and I believe they wanted Oliver Skip before him. We've seen Alex Cairns come in, which you don't have to pay much for anyway. I get that. And then Rothwell's been loaned, and his wages pittance. So I'm just putting it out there, just saying, are the early signs that we're selling high? And I guess that's a good business model to have. But are we doing it on the cheap? Do we expect Leeds United to go out and get a big ticket item? Am I being too sceptical about them? Just out of interest.
I don't think they're doing it on the cheap. I just think they know who they want and who's worth the money. I don't expect them to go out and spend 7 million on Jayden Bogle I just don't. With a year left on his contract, I know that's the asking price, but that's the whole point of the negotiations. I don't see us going out and spending big money. Maybe 2 or 3 millions here there. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll add up to some money, but I just don't. I don't feel that it's in their interests for us to get promoted.
Yeah.
So
I'm not confirming or denying that. I'm just putting it out there just to see what general opinion is.
That's not what you've just texted me. You've just said,
no. Well, don't wait towards end at window. I'll go, I told you all on 14th they were doing this.
But I think people project their insecurities and catastrophize a lot on Twitter because we've not heard out, so we're not doing any business because the journals recently, our journals they've been kept in the dark, haven't they?
Yeah.
And like apparently we were talking to Joe Rothwell 10 days before.
Yeah, well that's mad, isn't it?
First we heard about it 3 hours before he signed. They had a video done and everything. So I don't think they'll do it on the cheap, mate. I think they know what they're doing because pre-season starts Friday.
True. Yeah, we play on the 19th, don't we, against Harrogate? Yeah, Joe, go on. You were going to say something, mate.
My head went to a really weird metaphor, and there is the thing of it's not in
like
their
you
interest.
To throw out the metaphors, is
no, would I ever? But there is that point of like the 49ers don't gain anything if we're in the Championship. They have still effectively lost money because the club's losing value whilst we're down here and whilst we're not getting the parachute payments and whilst all that continues to go wrong. So they will push for promotion, but like the way that I had it in my head was, and this might be because I've got a roast dinner coming in an hour and a half. Say it like a roast dinner. Are you going to spend the big money on your carrots, your peas, your whatever else you want on a roast dinner?
Who's the carrots? Kent is a carrot. I assume Rothwell's a pea.
Yeah. Ken's the carrot. Rothwell's a radish. Or are you going to put the big money on the nice beef joint that's really going to tie things up and make things look good?
Which player's that?
That is
carry on with the alliteration. You'll have to give us a beat.
No, that's the big question mark player that I was talking about earlier.
Sod it. Chicken Calamo.
Oh, I like that. No, sod it. I'll go with it. The big ticket item, like I've been alluding to this entire Euros, because I'm obsessed with this guy, is Dennis Mann, Romanian winger. Might as well be. No, it's that mystery player that I think we're just going to be like, oh, we're signing this guy, and it'll turn out to be 12 to 15 million, and it'll be he's great or something like that. But I don't think it's an on the cheap thing.
No. Come on then, Jack. Let's hear your thoughts on the cheap.
Yeah, I think they're doing it on cheap.
He's full of shit, man.
No, I think it's really easy in football to get ripped off. That is for sure. And also, I think if they set the stall out getting ripped off, I don't think that stops. I think the club become like this. The teams around that are all selling and buying players, they know when they can have someone on, don't they? When they can have the pants down in a negotiation. So I think if they don't, it's the first season in. If they don't come in pretty tough with it and actually be like, no, we're not getting ripped off. That we only work towards this amount of money. We only do these type of things. Like Man City never get ripped off, do they? They seem to be able to pick players up. I know they spend silly money, but they don't get. You won't really sure that top probably paid for and stuff, but most English players are inflated. You get what I mean? Man U get ripped off, don't they? I would say they spend silly money on players that don't come in and do it. So I would rather us be a little bit more like. I know I keep saying it, but if Kamara goes for 10 million, and we're all discussing Kamara saying that he's good, if he's only going for 10 million, then why would you spend any more? What more do you get for an extra 10 million? Do you know what I'm saying? If Kamara's worth 10 million, what does 20 million get you?
Yeah.
Because I don't
Why
think
are they selling?
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason that they've agreed for the deal to go through as well from Leeds United's side, right? So maybe they're looking in a different direction. Well,
that's not a knock to Kamara. I mean more like just comparing him to a £20 million footballer that we might bring in that probably won't do it. Probably won't be much better than Kamara, but we've paid a lot of money for him, so it satisfies everybody on Twitter. But then when he doesn't produce anything, or he's just a pretty decent footballer, like they all are, they're all decent. I don't know. I think it's really tricky. I just think we should just, as we get towards the end of the transfer window, that's when you actually judge it. And when we're a couple of games in, let's have a look at some players. All our cheapest players have ended up being our best players, in truth. Yeah. Other than obviously
I think the way of looking at that is Summerville was 1.5 million, John Kevin Augustin was 18.
Yeah.
Great point. It is. You're right, mate. It is a great point, and we should always have that in mind. Yeah, 100%. Listen, folks, before we continue, please smash me a like on the video. We've only got 177. There's over 600 people here as well. And I just noticed this online. Footy Judge Mo's just sent some people over. Big up to Solomon, who's a member. Big up to Mo as well. Thank you for the redirect. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here. We'll be doing the England game a little bit later on, so make sure you keep it locked. Thank you, Mo. Big up to Mo, top guy as well. Let's talk about just some players that still haven't gone yet, like Summerville. Piper put a super chat in. If Summerville's going, can he be replaced? We'll answer that in a second, but first and foremost, I was speaking to someone online as well, and he was like saying to me, the longer this goes on, the more faith I'm starting to get that Summerville will stay. Quick answer. Do you think he stays? I'm going to say no. Dan?
No.
Jack?
If I had to answer in one, I would say no.
Okay. Joe?
No, but the longer it goes, the more options he's taking away from himself.
Okay, so let's talk about that then, right? So we all think he's no right now, right? We all think he's no right now. I
agree with that lad though. I'm starting to think a little bit more like, well, he's not going. There's only a certain amount of time where he, before he has to stay. So, but I do think he's going. Yeah. At the moment. Ask me in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we kept him, it'd be absolutely amazing. Like, I can't lie to you, like, genuinely. But I just don't envisage a world where the Championship player of the season who scored as many goals as he does sticks around for another year. I responded to the lad I was chatting to. I said, we're more likely to see James on the right and Nonto go out to the left and then Summerville go and use some of that money to maybe bring in some better bench options than what we had last season. If you can keep Nonto, he starts for me on the left. But I just think someone will take a gamble on Summerville because ultimately they might all have top targets, like Liverpool are looking at Anthony Gordon, for example, but that's going to cost some money, and Liverpool don't usually spend big. Usually they have a limit of around about 20-30 million, really. I think Caicedo was the one they were willing to break the bank for, and they never got him over the line. But outside of that, hey?
They're not ambitious, you see. They do it on cheap.
Exactly, yeah. Well, mate, if you go watch Liverpool content and Twitter, a lot say that, though, right? You know? A lot do say that. But I just think someone will take a chance. Let's say Gordon did go to Liverpool, then Newcastle could come for Summerville. I still feel that Palace might take a look at him, depending on what happens with Eze, and obviously Elise is already gone now. Spurs have been linked with Eze, for example. Even Spurs could look at him. There's so many options out there for him that I just don't envisage a world in which he stays. Is anyone else concerned about anyone else leaving other than, say, Summerville? Because no one expected Kamara to go, and he's gone. So,
or a case of who's not leaving, like Bamford. I mean,
yeah. Let's talk about Pat.
Personally, I'd like another forwarding, 100%. Like, I think Bamford's just rolling the bench next season if he stays. I'd like to see him, Mateo, maybe even Perot up there, but I'd like another. Like, I know it's cliche now, Samish Modix, even though he's been linked to other places. But that's what you want. You want a natural finisher, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'd love a new number 9, I'd love us to get... I thought Pirro was going to be that guy and he was going to score loads of goals. And we're like, listen, as soon as Pirro gets it, we know he's going to finish. I just want... I know it sounds corny, but I want a bags man. I want someone like Adam Armstrong at Southampton last season who, every time he went through, he's finding the back of the net. We haven't had that. Who was the last person? McCormack, maybe. Do you know what I mean? McCormack was just a bags man, wasn't he? He always found the back of the net. But, I don't know.
Chris Wood that season.
Chris Wood, yeah, that season under Monk. That's a good shout, actually. He scored a lot of goals that season, didn't he? And ultimately went, but... What about you two at the top? Because I know, listen, I'm part of the Bamford fan club, but you two are the fucking custodians at the top of this video. You two are the chair, fucking, the lot, man. So where do you stand on it, lads? By the way, I'm not saying sell him, because you can't sell him. Everyone just thinks you have to get rid of him. I genuinely think if we didn't sign another player and got rid of Bamford, people would be happy and call it a 10 out of 10 window, right? That's how mad they are on him. But I'd like to see someone who's going to start for us. Could that be Joseph? Yes. But if not, then we definitely need one.
Go on, Joe.
Go on. One of us.
I think last time I was on here, we had the Bamford chat, and I think it is a question of everyone is itching for Mateo Joseph to start, and I think if you sign another number 9, you're not going to sign someone for the bench, so you're signing someone to directly put in Mateo Joseph's way. So that needs to be someone real good, and I think that's a decision that will be made during pre-season. The decision of is Mateo really good enough to start week in, week out will define whether or not we need to sign a number 9. And I'm still in the spot of, like, Bamford is fine. The issue with Bamford is the occasional injury. And the occasional injury tends to be a long injury. But when he's fit, he is fit. It's the same thing as Junior Firpo. Like, Junior Firpo, second half of last season, everyone was like, oh, this guy's actually quite good. But when it came to Bamford, because he got hurt before the playoffs, everyone was a bit like, it's crap, get rid, gone, out.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? Like, it's not a problem. That's why I put it up, because I knew these two would be female, but, like, it's not a problem supporting a player. And also, Ryan, this is just so counterintuitive, just to release a player. When, if you get someone who starts, you can still have Bamford. You don't need to release him in order for it to be... Like, him, this is what I can't compute. It's like people just go, just get rid. Why? Why pay his wages off that'll cost you a couple of million? Why not have him as an option in the cup if you have someone who's going to be your number 9 or Joseph's that? Why not have him around? Because guess what? You can't just get rid of him. If you bought, like, it's all relative, right? Ryan, if you bought a sofa... And you know, you wanted a new one, what are you going to do? Just dash that on the back street for the guy to go? Or are you going to try sell it on? Or if you can't sell it on, you might try give it away to one of your friends. It's not, you're not just going to cut down price. You can't just go, fuck it, burn that sofa that we've just paid $1,000 for, we're getting a new one in, boom. Do you know what I mean? That's probably a shit analogy, but it's all relative.
It in another room at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He might work in the cup games, be in the other room. Do you know what I mean? So, come on.
Crazy metaphors going on today. Like.
Yeah, there is, isn't it? Joe's rubbing off on me. That's what it is. But go on, give us your thoughts on Bamford, Jack.
I'm exhausted. I really am. I'm exhausted with it. To be honest, the more
would you like him released so that you don't have to talk about him?
There's an element. I'd actually be lying if I thought it would feel like a weighted relief.
Yeah.
I hope I bump into him one day, and I hope on the off chance that he's just watched a couple of my videos, and both times has been me like banging on about how I'm because I do. So, and I will not start hating him just because everybody wants rid of him. It's like the most popular thing ever. Just the squad will be fine if we get rid of Patrick Bamford. It's nonsense. It's utter replace him, find a replacement, find this mystery man that doesn't exist that'll get you 25 goals, and then we can stop worrying about what Bamford's doing and they can move on to somebody else. Blame, I don't know, whoever's next, you know, because they'll just as soon as Bamford leaves, they will be.
Jack, now that you fall into this category, I think everyone probably does on this panel now. Old guard apologists. Well, when Bamford goes, what's the next one we'll get called? Do you know what I mean? What will we get called after that? Or will the Firpo Strauchs be the old guard and we'll get called for backing them? I don't know.
I've already been called that for Firpo.
Oh, yeah.
I've had it for Firpo for a while now.
to the guy that commented saying that, you know, I'm in defence of him, and this is the problem. What am I defending? What am I in defence of? I don't get it. A player that's definitely good at football, get you 10 goals, even if he's injured for half of it. I don't really know I don't know if that's a defence of him. I just think that's factually what he does, isn't it? He gets injured too often. I've never denied that. He struggles to come back from injuries. He gets plenty of goals, misses a few chances, holds ball up really well. Problem for 2 centre-backs every single time he plays is a nightmare for him.
If he never came back in January, we wouldn't have gone on that run. He was key to that run, you know. He was key to that run. Key to it. Massively.
Defending him.
Yeah. Mr. Rossi, ever the positive Leeds United fan on Twitter. Big up to Rossi, by the way. He says, anyone else think Pirro has a better second season? Danny, where do we see his position? Is he the 9? I bloody hope not. We had one good game as him as a 9, didn't we? And that was against Norwich. Outside of that, I mean, I don't know what we do with Pirro. Is he a 10? Is he a 9? Is he a Joffy? He's a bit better Joffrey. He's a Joffrey that can finish, I think. If that
I think he
makes
needs
sense.
to. Yeah. When I first saw him play, I thought he was a great finisher in front of the net. I just don't see him as a 10. But then I don't see him as a 9. It's just, he's not in the right positions. Did he play as a 10 at Swansea? A bit of a loose 10.
Yeah, sort of. He wasn't
So
a 9, was he? There either.
Well, he started out as a left back, didn't he? So it
Did he?
explains quite a bit. Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. Unless I've
Been
just
an
made that up
absolute
completely.
cart horse at fucking left back. Can you imagine?
Him and Christensen at wing backs. That's where I'd go.
We're going to win the lot. We'll win the lot.
Yeah,
I think if with his finishing, I'd play him up top personally. Maybe he trains a lot harder. Trains to be a 9 rather than.
And the system this time, because Farke's building a
It'll
squad,
change.
might be better suited to him. Do you know what I mean? And he might get more out of him. So that is a good point, mate. That we have to maybe, because I think this time around, especially when you look at the right back, for example, we're linked to Bogle. He's very much in the makeup of Max Aarons. And that the squad, the side could have a totally different vibe. He's brought back Arrington. That's another number 10 alongside a Rutter. Maybe which by all accounts we tried to get Callum O'Hare. That's another 10. So is he looking at what he did at Norwich when he had 3 10s or 2 10s and 1 winger holding the width? We don't know, right? Like it could look totally different. We're not going to be able to see because they're playing behind closed doors on friendlies, and I still don't think we've got a fucking video feed yet, so we won't know what we're getting until we see them against Valencia. But yeah, it could have a totally different look, couldn't it? Who knows? I
think he's going for a change of formation personally. I don't think he'll go with the 4-2-3-1. What was it? 4-2-3-1. I think he'll go like he did with Norwich because that's his system. Like you say, with Jamal Lewis and Max Aarons?
Max Aarons, yeah.
Bringing youth through. We've seen Charlie Crew. Is it? I forget his name. Sorry, Debayo as well.
And the centre back, yeah.
And Harry Christie. Farke likes his youth, so
yeah. Contrary to reports, by the way, because everyone tells me you don't play Joes if you hate youth. We had the second youngest squad in the fucking league. So
every league manager hates youth. That seems to be that's another one. Yeah. They hate the old. If the fans hate the old ones, apart from the podcasters who support them, and then the manager hates the young ones. That tends to be. You have to summarise it. That'd be the summary.
Yeah. The funniest thing.
I remember we had to scream.
Go on, mate.
I was going to say, I remember we had to scream for Archie Gray to get any minutes last season. He was invisible. We didn't play him in the slightest.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing I got was after Lamine Yamal scored in the semi-final. I got a comment on a video. Right, I got a comment on a video from weeks back saying, "See, I told you, Joe. That's what happens when you play youth." And I thought, oh, so you're comparing Lamine Yamal to Mateo Joseph now? Is that what we're doing? So I just thought, that shows how much your B has been in your bonnet. He's probably watched every Spain game thinking, I can't wait till he scores to do this.
Sorry, when was the last time Lamine Yamal scored in the Championship? I don't think he has.
Do you know? Exactly.
I don't think he has, It's levels to this, mate.
Yeah, there is. Exactly, you're right. What do we make to Jayden Bogle then? It looks like that could be a goer. I've spoke to my friend today, and he believes that with them trying to get more, with them trying to get Callum O'Hare, that they potentially need money in from a sale of Jayden Bogle. They want quite a hefty fee. Look, when you look on their message boards and see what they're saying, they want 10 to 12 million. I don't think they want that. I think Sheffield United want about 7, but hopefully Leeds can get him for about 5. But it's clear he's a talented player. He's 23-year-old. He's still got a lot of growing to do. Him and for me, if I think about it, Melly in goal, Bogle, Rodon, Strauch, Firpo, that's top tier, top level Championship back 4, isn't it? Gets goals from the flanks and also is defensively sound as well. Yeah, just nodding heads. Anyone want to chip in?
Yeah, I mean, there's... yeah, it just works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The consensus that I've seen is people are saying he's very good attacking, but defensively he's sort of meh. But at this level, he should be great because he's got vast bags of experience at this level, and he's scored 3 goals in the Premier League, I think, last season. Yeah. And it's good experience to have for his age. Like you say, he's got bags of potential to come in, and I think he'll thrive under Farke, to be honest with you. Not that he didn't before, but if Farke uses his, I mean, I'm not a tactician at all. You just need to put the ball in the net, don't you? The right net anyway. But I think it's a position we're crying out for, and I'm all for it. I mean, people have wrote the transfer off already, and it's not even gone through.
Yeah, Jack, as well. You were making that point, about Kamara. You're going to need to replace him, at least with someone like Jayden Bogle at just 23. And I've seen people who know a lot more about him, reckon already he could be a mid-table Premier League right back. So you've got a little bit of longevity there with him as well, haven't you?
Yeah, there's scope, isn't there? Depending on how good he is. But even if you got 4 or 5 years out of him to get towards it, if we go up next year. But also, we have a lot of ball, don't we? So we don't really need to worry too much about how minty he is at defending. Like, as long as he don't just get horrifically exposed every now and again, that'll be all right. If it's once a game, obviously it becomes a problem. But he's definitely at a standard where he'll be able to defend a bit, won't he? So it's plenty of ball. He'll get forward loads. I think it'd be a mint signing, to be fair. I think it'd be quite exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so, because as good as Gray was, like he didn't overlap much. There was a real reluctance to get it out to the right at times, whereas if you've got James and Bogle out there, you're cooking on gas. It also means that, if Summerville does stay, there also has to be awareness that, oh shit, they've got the right-hand side as well, so it frees him up a little bit. I'm excited for the season, lads. I genuinely am. I'm excited for this new look Leeds United. I'd love all the business done now. I'd love to know all the players we're going to sign, even just from a content creation perspective. But like you said, ultimately, it's okay right now. If it stayed like this, we'd all be like, no, this is shit. But there's still a lot of time to go, isn't there? So, like, we're in a good place.
Some serious bother with finances? Are they? Yeah. Because all I'm seeing is all incomings. That's all I keep seeing, that they're in competition for getting players. So
yeah, I think a lot of it's all on freeze and they're waiting on this takeover. If this takeover doesn't go through, they're really up the shit. Really? If it does, I think some Americans, maybe again, I know.
Yeah, apparently it's like quite a few different companies coming together, like they did with us.
Yeah, consortium.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see. I know they've got lined up, like say Kiefer Moore, I think it's a great signing, especially for Wilder. If they get Callum O'Hare, apparently they've beaten Callum O'Hare to beaten Leeds to Callum O'Hare.
Why would you want to go there?
I don't get it. I don't get it either, mate. I genuinely don't get it, unless it's pure financial gain.
That's me without being biased, doing my best to not be biased. I cannot, because I try and sort of see, like, well, why would they want to come to Leeds? But why would he want to go to Sheffield over Leeds? I just cannot.
Money. Apparently, they've offered more money, double the money, and that's if they're desperate for their star signing, they'll just throw money down. It's like what Birmingham did to Alfie May. They doubled his wages.
They're a shit show behind the scenes. I agree, though. But I also I get a little bit annoyed at Leeds, and I know you might disagree with me, but I'm like, go fucking get him, because he could be key. Like, don't let them beat you to him. That's where I'd be.
I'm back on board with that. I don't get him ripped off.
Yeah,
I think it kicks out a stink, and because you can't on the same hand say that Sheffield United have run terribly behind the scenes, but they've gone and got the player, overspending on him, and doubling his wages, and then say that, well, that's what we should do. That's not the model, because they're going down pan. So do you know what I mean? True. It's like there has to be a middle ground. I agree with you've got to go out and get some players, by the way. I'm not suggesting
no, of course
you should sit there with a wodge in their hand for me. But it's money wodge. Just to clear that up, but leave it at that, I think.
What is a wodge?
Oh, money.
Yeah, but just to clear that up, what's the other thing is a wodge? Like
I'll let the comments go for
watch, right? Okay. I've just never heard watch before.
Are you not genuinely?
Nah. Corey.
I made it up. I don't think I did. Hopefully, I did.
Yeah, maybe you did. There you go.
You mean wedge?
Wedge. It'll be in.
Wedge is money, isn't it?
Yeah, wedge is money. Yeah, it'll be in Urban Dictionary next year. That mate, wodge.
Wodge. That's got to be.
I swear to God, I've never heard wodge before. Like,
but
I think I've heard wodge.
If I had a wodge of cash, but
that's a wad.
I've got my wodge out. I've got my wodger out. Come on, wodger. It is.
Someone just tuned in now. Well,
exactly.
Getting the widgie out.
We're coming up towards an hour, or we have just surpassed an hour. Right, I put Paul up right at the start of the video. Happy with Leeds United's window so far. 47% say yes, 53% have said no. Let's just get the panel before we finish. Where do you land? Are you happy so far? Not what they might do, Joe. Not, it's not the end yet. Right now, are you happy?
If you ended the window right now, no. But the signs of what is happening, yes.
Okay.
Because it isn't done yet, basically.
Yeah, that's fine. Jack?
No, not right this moment. No.
No. I'm a no as well. Yeah, I'm a no. Just because of Kamara and Gray going and Rothwell. But like you said, there is a long way to go. What about you, Danny?
Thanks for remembering my name, mate. No, I'm on. If the Kamara stuff hadn't come out, I'd have said yes.
Yes,
but I think
same. Yeah, I agree. Actually, yeah.
Because then there's a lot of continuity, and like you say, there's a lot of factors. There's a long way to go, but at the minute, I mean, before the Kamara stuff, I'd have said yeah, but I'm gonna have to go no.
It's a good point though. By establishing 1919, mad. Because if we close now, we've got Summerville. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that is a very good point.
Thing is with Summerville, it's Sinistera.
And we keep Vober, and we keep Christensen. Actually, it might not be that bad. Close it now.
The Flaccid Viking.
Close it now. Now, listen, I'm sure it's gonna pick up over the next few weeks. We'll probably see one in next week. Do we reckon, Jayden Bogle?
We'll know about it 3 hours before it happens. Yeah,
exactly. Mate. So 19th pre-season starts on Friday as well. We're back on the way. I think we'll leave it there. But before we do, let's just hear from the lads and what they've got. Danny, you didn't do a pod this week, but what's around the corner? What's going to be new in the season for not another Leeds pod?
Well, we've got a reaction to the final, which if you're watching next week and you're watching this now, sorry. But basically, there's a lot of chaos as per. Joe knows he's been on a few times and he's been mentally scarred a few times. Jack, hope to get you on soon. Wink, wink.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's your kind of vibe.
So we've got a reaction.
Plenty of wadgy chat and stuff.
Yeah. And widgets, 3 of us. But yeah, we've got a pod out coming live next Friday, normal time. We'll get a guest on as well, reacting to the final and whatever news, because I think James wants to really talk about Archie going and Rothwell coming in. He'll have a lot to say.
Good. That'll be a good watch then. Joe, you've got a walk coming up, haven't you, that you keep trying to rope me into? But you have got a walk coming up around the corner. Talk to us about it. Tell us.
Look, you've got to stop saying that you really enjoy going on long walks in the countryside, because I'm going to keep inviting you to the long walk in the countryside.
That's true.
Yeah, me and a bunch of other nutcases are going on a 42-mile walk within 24 hours from Osmotherley all the way across the moors to Whitby, which should be absolute hell, but it's all for Prostate Cancer UK, with any of the proceeds going in their direction. That's what I've been saying in most of my videos for a while now. Anything that is a donation to the channel, I'm donating onwards to Prostate Cancer UK. So that's membership, super chats, all that stuff. And at the very start of the season, I'm going to take the number of subscribers that I've got. I'm going to say each subscriber is 1p, and I'm going to donate that much to Prostate Cancer UK as well, because it's just a really important cause. And yeah, that
is really good. So no sleep. Because sorry, I keep asking you for the logistics. You've sent me a link. So what time are you setting off?
Setting off at about 3 p.m. 3 p.m. ish. Yeah.
On the Friday?
On the Saturday.
On the Saturday.
And it goes through to the Sunday.
No stops then, just straight 42-mile bang.
You got a few breaks and stops and stuff. You got a nice. Yeah. I've noted a few places down for breakfast. I know where we're likely to have tea about 10 miles in. But aside from that, it's just go on through. People form their own groups of their nice happy walking paces.
Of course.
And yeah.
Wow, it's insane.
I think they do less on SAS selection, I think.
Yeah. My thing is, we've done the square ball walk, all of us apart from Jack, and that, I think the most we might do in a day is what, 20 odd mile?
25.
I think we hit 28, 29 at one point.
Yeah. I've never. You said apart from me, as though I'm staunchly against that.
No, you just haven't done it yet. I would genuinely. No.
Didn't do it. Wouldn't do it.
No. We've done it before, right? And obviously, knowing how grueling just one of the days at, say, 25 mile was, and I know we sleep and then we go again and all that sort of stuff, and it might be easier just powering through. But I'm just thinking, doing 25, that buckled me to then add another 20 on top of that, I think my feet I think they'd fall off, man. I think they'd fall off. Honestly, mate, wow.
I think they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. My
I saw them. Nope,
Yeah.
not great.
They were
Yeah,
like
the
fucking
idea behind
Frodo
it.
Baggins. I had blisters underneath my nails, man, and my nails popped off. My
I called
nails
him Eric
actually popped
Tohag.
off. Yeah, my nails actually popped off. They've only it was
mad.
bad, man.
You still
Jack,
putting
mate,
them
you
out?
hey.
Still sucking on them though.
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. Jack, you've got some music coming out. Talk to us about that. Tell us about the channel. Don't be just fucking tell us all about it, man.
There's not to say.
There is, man. Come on, give it the
I've
full
got
sell.
a single coming out on Friday that the pre-order is available. If you go on any of my channels, the pre-order is hopefully everywhere, and you just click on the link and the video will explain to you how to help me if you wish to. That's basically it.
Not if you wish to go fucking help me. That's what you say, man.
Well, I know, but I'm
Hook
not
me
desperate
up.
for help. I'm not. It's not a call for help. If I really needed help, I would
Call for
help me.
Yeah.
Maybe if I did that 24-mile, 40-mile walk, I'd
Yeah.
some calls for help.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's just,
That is fair.
it'd be nice if you would. It's easy done.
Leon says, what style music?
It's hip hop.
Yeah, it's very good. Actually, I discovered someone, because I do like to listen to music, and someone put it on Twitter. I forget who it was. It might have been Mr. Dodo or whatever. And I thought, let me go listen to this track. Bearing in mind, it was at a time where, I was in my feelings and that. So this one track that I had to go listen to was called Rehab. And then I started listening to it, and it's a great track, but it's all about a fucking chicken. Like, I left it, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, I actually messaged Jack. I went, this cuts deep, doesn't it? This cuts deep at this moment in time. It's a great track, by the way, so people need to go listen to it. I'm actually.
You and Ollie should do a collab. Should do a collab.
Yeah,
with,
I'd be partial, yeah, but for it.
Have you heard Ollie sing?
Yeah, I heard his latest single, yeah. Followed him on
that's
Instagram, but he just ignored me.
Oh, did he?
I'm only messing about. I did follow him, but I don't know if it's. I don't.
Yeah. Go listen to this track, folks. Try not to cry, yeah? Rehab. Get on it. It's a banger, yeah. Should we, look. Hang on, I'll share it. It won't get copyright, will it, this? You won't be embarrassed by this, will you, bro?
What do you
Fuck
mean?
it, it's happening anyway. Hang on.
What
Understands that sometimes it's the right relationship, the wrong time.
It's a banger, this, you
Too
know.
deep, I can't sleep. Every time I should be dreaming, I'm believing all the reasons that you said to me. And now it's all so friendly, but my memory serves me plenty. Yeah, you lent it me. You sent me super gently to a place.
Banger, man, banger. So yeah, go check it out. Go check it out, folks. Don't copy strike me for that, mate.
It's out of my control now, Joe. I did shout you when you did it.
Oh, did you? Oh no!
Yeah,
Does that belong to someone else?
No, it's just once I've uploaded it. Once I've uploaded it, I can give access to certain channels. So if I give you access to a track, but obviously I've never thought that you was gonna just drop that track at the end of the stream.
Okay. I'll let you know afterwards. I'll let you know.
I think I can take it. I think I can sort it.
Joe's going to send you a bill after.
8 years ago. Yeah, that tune was 8 years ago, but he's also got new tunes.
I'm allowed to have songs that are 8 years old, though.
Yeah, yeah, you are. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. It's been a great show, loads of fun. England are going to win the Euros. I'll be back live in a bit for that. I was going to go out, but the way I'm feeling, I'll go out for the wrong reason. So stay indoors, Joe. Stay indoors and watch it with my online friends. So I'll be back live at 7 o'clock to watch England lift the Euros. Make sure you check out these great content creators, Jack's Music, Danny's Pod, and of course Joe's Walk. And I'll see you in a bit, folks. Bye-bye.